Okay, guys. So, guys, just before starting the session, just let me introduce myself. This is Vamsi Krishna here. I was a trainer on data science and machine learning, deep learning, and AI related technologies. This is actually a free workshop we are conducting from the DURGASOFT training. So the main agenda for the today's class, that means like what is this particular workshop is meant for, it's a meant for actually, guys. We don't learn any we are not going to learn anything technical aspects of the today's session, but some people are having some different doubts actually, like uh, whether to learn the data science or not. So is I was can I fit into the data science role? Can I learn the data science? So can I switch from my existing role to which is going to be a data science? Or I don't have any knowledge about programming, can I learn the data science? So like that, there are going to be some of the common questions that come from most of you guys actually. So some are planning to learn, some are planning to switch to data science or planning to learn the data science. But before going to that, a lot of discussions, because some people talks about data science, some people talks about AI, some people talks about ML, DL. Different people are talking about a different core areas of that actually. So my main agenda for the today's free workshop, which we are conducting, is basically to give some idea about like what are the things that exist in the data science. Can a particular person can, if I want to learn data science, or if I want to switch to data science, so what are the things I have to learn, and what are our course curriculum is mainly designed for, and how my schedules, however, whatever the new schedules that are coming from the DurgaSoft. So to give some a kind of an idea, so we are going to be conducting this particular free workshop. So once again, thank you all of you guys for just giving your Sunday, your time, which is going to be on a holiday. So spending 1 hour of time with me. So once again, welcome to this welcome to this online, it's a workshop connecting basically on that particular our course curriculum, which is the full stack data science course actually. So guys, let's already just 10:15 is that time. Just I'll take 1 hour of time actually, guys, just exactly 1 hour of time. In that 45 to 50 minutes, I will talk about some, my lecture will be there. Like I don't teach any technical concepts, but like what are going to be the current trends that are going on, come like what are the future trends you can see. So etc. We want to study about that actually. Okay. So let us talk about actually, like as we can see that actually, like which is going to be the course, whatever we are planning is going to be nothing but it's going to be a full stack data science actually, guys. It's going to be a full stack data science actually. So which we generally call it as, in shortcut, most of the people says that FSDS actually. So nowadays, this full stack is a common role which most of the companies are looking for actually. Like as you know that full stack data engineer, or like a full stack engineer, they are talking about that. So what is this full stack engineer, or what is this full stack? Whenever we are talking about a full stack means the companies are expecting from end to end actually. Like from in a particular project life cycle, the guy or or whatever the employee has to work in any level of that particular project. Like I cannot say like that. Earlier, we used to say that I know only, for example, if I talk about a Java. So like whenever they want to work with something like in Spring Boot. So some people says that I don't know the Spring Boot. I can't work on the Spring Boot actually. But nowadays the companies are not like that. They're looking for the guys, or they're looking for the employees. So, or the participants who are going to be having, like who is having some end-to-end knowledge, they have to have it actually. So end-to-end, the knowledge has to be gets there actually. That is what the companies are expecting. So in any particular project life cycle, what are the different? So if you want to work with a full stack engineer, it may be an FSC, what generally they call it as actually full stack engineer, what they call it as FSC Java or FSC .NET, whatever you work. So end to end, whatever that particular various techniques that are going to be that is required, you must be learning about, you should be knowing about all that particular. So any level of the project you should be working actually. So same as it is in our full stack data science course also. In our full stack data science course also, so the companies are expecting, so companies are going to be expecting something like the guys, the person should be knowing about end to end. So whenever we are working in a data science project, so I cannot say that, so the candidate should not say that I know only this one, I know only this one actually. So as a full stack, which is going to be data scientist, so whatever that particular technologies or whatever the techniques that are required, he must be in a position to handle every level of that. He should be aware about every level of that particular project should be handling actually. So what are the different skills or what are the different core areas that are going to be required actually? So as part of the data science, one of the main core area, that means one of the main core skill that is going to be gets required is going to be nothing but I'm just telling you actually guys, what are the different skills that are required actually to become a full stack data science engineer or a full stack data scientist. So what are the different skills that are going to be gets required actually? So first of all, one of the major skill that is going to be required. I'm just highlighting only the major skills actually. Apart from that, there are so many other skills that are going to be gets required actually. The first and the most important skill which a data scientist is going to be required is going to be nothing but a skill called as a data visualization actually. A data visualization is going to be gets required actually. A data visualization is whatever that particular skill that is going to be required actually. So what do you mean to say about it? I'm giving just an ideas about them. So what do you mean to say about a data visualization? So data visualization is going to be a skill that is required by a data analyst or a data scientist. So to project the data in a visual context, we have to project the data actually. It's one of the skill actually, guys, in a data science project life cycle. So the person has to know about one of the major skill that is going to be required is a data visualization. So data visualization is nothing but you are just putting all your whatever the raw data is there, whatever the raw data is there, we are putting this data into some kind of a visual format or in a visual format, we are going to be putting the data actually. If you put the data in a visual format, what is an advantage actually, guys? Normally, when you look at the data, you cannot identify the trends. We cannot identify the patterns. So whenever we put the data into the visual format, some kind of a patterns, some kind of a trends, or some kind of an correlations can be identified. Some kind of a correlations can be detected actually. Normally, when you see the data in a normal raw format, you cannot identify them actually. If you put the data in a visual format or a visual context, so the patterns, trends, correlations can be gets detected actually. Some take some example actually, some simple, a company stock market, stock price, we'll see them actually. Like for example, starting from, let us say something like 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, for example, just an example I'm talking about, 2019, 2020, 2021, let us say that. So let us say that like how much sales or how much profit it has been got. Like let us say that I want to talk about a profit, for example. So let us say that in 2015, let us say something around let us say that it is going to be somewhere around, let us say some kind of a 4 billions it is going to be there or something, a 4 million or a 4 billion, it is going to be the profit they got it actually. So in the next 2016 year, it has been went up to, which is going to be, let us say something around, it went up to some 7 billion, it has been went for that. So in 2017, let us say that it has been dropped to, for example, it is going to be somewhere around to, for example, 3 billion. Like that, it has been got, if you can see that. So again, in 2018, let us say that it went somewhere here now. Something, it is showing you some kind of a trends what we are going to be seeing this actually. Like what is a trend, we can see that. So every alternative year, so that particular profit is getting decreasing. So some kind of a pattern it is there. So 1 year it is increasing, next year it is decreasing, next year again it is increasing, next year it is decreasing. Like that, some kind of a pattern was there actually, some kind of a pattern, what we can say that. So one of the major skill actually, so before going for the data scientist, one of the major skill that is going to be required is going to be a data visualization skill actually. a very important skill actually. So directly we cannot go for the data visualizations. Some kind of a data preparations are also going to be gets required. Before starting with the visualization, we have to study about, we have to learn something about some kind of a data preparation skills. I'm not highlighting that. That is a common skill that everybody has to be gets required actually. So putting the data into visual format will make you to understand the patterns, trends, correlations. All these things can be detected only whenever we put the data into visual format. Normally, if you see the data in a text-based, just like in a normal text-based data, we cannot identify that kind of a pattern. Some kind of a patterns, what we can see them. That's why a data visualization skill is going to be required. So data visualization means some people may get it out saying that, Vamshi, you have to learn some any kind of an tools like Power BI or Tableau, something like that. No. So yes, you can use it. You can also use that particular Power BI or a Tableau, you can use it. But apart from that, you can also use some kind of an open source libraries are going to be there. Like if you want to work with a Python libraries, if you are going to be learning about the Python libraries. So in Python, we are going to be having some libraries like which is going to be matplotlib, or we are going to be having something like NCBond, or we are having something called as an bouquet, or it is going to be like which are having something called as a plotly, etc., etc. Same as it is, even you can work with R language. All are open sources. You need not to pay any licensing for that actually. But if you want to use some tools like which is going to be Power BI, or if I want to use something like an which is going to be a Tableau or something like that. So there are going to be some licensed versions. So you have to pay some licensing for them actually. Without that, we cannot use it. In R also, we are having something called as an ggplot tools. We are having something called as an lattice. We are going to be having something. We are having some different the libraries what we can use as of the R language. So anyhow, as part of our the training course curriculum, we are going to be using all these open sources only. We are going to be gets working with them actually. We'll use completely with the open sources only. We are going to be gets working with that. So one of the major skill is going to be data visualizations. So these are all some different techniques. So these are all going to be some kind of a different core areas which we should be familiar with that. The second and most important is going to be nothing but and another skill what we are going to call it as a machine learning actually. So it is going to be a kind of a machine learning actually, which is one of the most important the concept which we have to learn as part of our data science. So that is going to be the ML, which is what we are going to call it as a machine learning actually. So machine learning is also in one of a technique. Like what we are going to do is we will make the machines to learn from the data actually. The machines are going to learn from that particular data. The machine starts studying the data actually. So what do you mean to say just a machine learning is? Machine learning is all about nothing but if you give the data to the machine, machine is going to studies the data. Machine is going to learn from the data. Whatever it has been got learned, that particular knowledge it gained, or what we are going to technically, we are going to call it as the insights. Based on that particular knowledge or the insights, we can do some kind of an predictions what we are going to be doing this actually. So machine learning is all about some kind of an predictive analysis. So analyze the past. So analyze what has been happened in the past, and you can predict what would be the future actually. Like for example, we can talk about that. Like for example, I can talk about some kind of an e-commerce example actually. So by understanding the past, which is going to be just understand the customers. So simply I can say that in e-commerce, understand the particular the customer, which is going to be the customers, what is going to be the past purchases history. That is going to be the past or the what is going to be the history purchase actually. So what items he has been got purchased, what items he has been got purchased in the last 1 year or 2 years or from the last 5 years. Understand the customer, whatever the past or whatever that particular history purchase. And based on that, we are going to be using some kind of an predict. So what are the products he may buy? What are the particular product he may buy actually? He may buy. So according to that, we have to give the recommendations. So we know that from Amazon and all from the e-commerce sites like from Amazon, we are going to be getting some kind of a recommendations. Like you may have so sometimes every day we'll get it. So like you may be interested in so and so particular product. So how that particular e-commerce sites like Amazon is saying that I may buy this particular product, even you are not interested, sometimes you may be interested in that particular product. So how it will come to know about that? It is completely by analyzing the previous and the past and the historical, whatever the things we have been gotten actually. Like for example, let us say that I have been brought in headset. I have been brought in headset actually. So 1 year back, I have been brought in headset actually. So maybe generally the headsets and all these things are going to be generally 1 year, 1.5 years. They will work well. After that, they will get damaged actually. They'll get damaged, or we'll understand the past, the other customers' data also. Like everyone who has been brought, let us say, in headset 6 months back, again they're putting an order on the same headsets after 6 months of time. After 6 months of time, let us say that the customers are placing the orders based on the same headsets what they have been brought 6 months back. So expecting that a customer who has been brought 3 months back the headset, we can expect that within another 3 months he may be ordering a new headset actually. So that immediately after 3 months of after 6 months happened, then immediately we can recommend you may be looking for so and so particular product, because we understood that kind of an customer's behaviors actually. But here who is going to understand all these things? It is going to be given to the machine understands the data actually. So we are not doing anything manual, so we are just going to be feed the data to the machine. So machine will understand the particular patterns. Like this customer is going to be likely to buy a headset within the next 3 months of time, or within the next 2 months of time, then immediately send some kind of a notification through the email, or something related to something like some ads or Google ads or Facebook ads. We can send some kind of a recommendation actually. So study the past. So machine learning is very simple technique. Understand the past, what has been happened in the past, and based on that, what could happen in the future, we can expect it actually. Like examples, I said that e-commerce sites. So understand the customer's behavior. Understand the customer, which is going to be the past or what is going to be the history behavior. And based on that, what we can do is predict what product the customer may buy actually. You can talk about a lot of examples actually. Like one of the best example is going to be your email classifications. So you know that whenever an email comes, automatically the email will identify that our whatever the email service providers will identify that whether it is a spam or whether it is going to be a ham. Ham is nothing but which is a non-spam messages. So how it will come to know that, how it has been came to know that this is a spam message, how it will came to know that it is a non-spam message. So that is going to be understands the past, whatever that particular the emails are there actually. We already marked them saying that these are going to be spam mails, these are going to be the non-spam mails actually. So what just it has to understand. For example, when you talk about the emails, so what we have to understand, so which is going to be just the understand the whatever that particular emails. So understand that particular words which has been got occurred in spam or in the spam or the non-spam messages actually, or non-spam emails. So we have to make the system to understand these are the words that appeared in that. We need not to tell that. Just tell me the words that appeared in the spam emails, and tell me the words which are going to be available in the non-spam emails actually. Then automatically based on that, what we can do that. So predict whether the new email is a spam or a ham actually. Whether the new email is going to be a spam or a ham, it is going to identify that. New email is in, whether it is a spam or whether it is a ham, it can identify it actually. So if we can talk about that, we can talk about a lot of examples, we can talk about them actually. It's not only this e-commerce examples or not only the emails, we can talk about a lot of examples, we can talk about them. So one of the best examples, if you talk about some kind of an, in business perspective point of view, if you can say that, like banking applications. Like in the banking applications, we can talk about them. Like before giving a loan to the customer, just before giving a loan to the customer, we have to identify whether this particular customer will pay the EMS promptly or not, whether he was ready to pay the EMS or not. How do you come to understand that actually? So if you analyze the past customers' behavior, they will tell you like who are paying the EMS promptly, who are not paying the EMS promptly. So what are the common characteristics they have? It is going to tell us about that. So what we are going to do here is just by understanding the past customers data actually, the past customers data actually, who has paid the EMS promptly. So past customers who are defaulters and who are non-defaulters, who are defaulters and who are the non-defaulters actually. So if you understand the past customers who has been defaulters and non-defaulters, we can predict the new customers who could be the defaulter, who could be the non-defaulters. We can predict. Based on that, we can give the loans actually. So like that, if I talk about the real scenarios, we can talk about a lot of examples of this particular data, the machine learning concepts actually. So machine learning is all about a technique which we are going to be using where the machines are going to be gets trained. The machines are going to start learning from that particular data. And based on that particular learning, they can predict what could happen in the future also. They can predict actually. We can talk about a lot of examples. Like one of the major area where we are going to be using the machine learning is some kind of a medical diagnosis actually. Some kind of a medical diagnosis actually. So depending on some kind of a clinical data, depending on some kind of a clinical data, so whether this particular person is going to be will be affected with a stroke or not in the future. So it analyzes the past customers, the patient's data. Based on that particular past patient's data, it will tell you like which customers, which patients are going to be affected with the stroke, or which are affected with the diabetes, or which will be affected with the heart stroke. So something like that, we can identify that. So in medical diagnosis, what we can do that actually. In medical diagnosis actually, in medical diagnosis, predicting, which is going to be a kind of a predict actually. So it is going to be predicting the medical diagnosis as which is going to be positives or which is going to be the negatives for a particular disease or a particular whatever may be the issue, what we can say that actually. So how it is going to be does that actually, it analyzes the past patients data. So their clinical data will give, and whether there are positive or whether there are negative will tell the machines actually. Machine studies about them. So like these patients or this clinical data led to a heart stroke, and this clinical data has been led to a non-heart stroke actually. Based on that, whenever a new clinical data, new patient's data was given, so whether he would be affected, whether he would not be affected, that is going to be identified with the help of something by using this particular machine learning applications. So the one of the major success story, like today, whatever we are here to learn about this data science, it is all due to about this particular machine learning concept section. So anyhow, without understanding the machine learning, we cannot go for a deep learning application. Actually, we have one more technique is there, which is going to be deep learning applications, which I'm going to tell you in the coming scenarios. I'm going to tell you that. But as of now, I'm not going to be discussing about that particular deep learning because we cannot understand it actually, unless and until we are familiar with this particular machine learning concept. There's slightly differences there. We should know the technical concepts. But one more thing, your deep learning is going to be a part of your machine learning only. Your deep learning is going to be part of a machine learning only. It is one of the subset of the machine learning concept only. We are going to be gets working with them. But without knowing what there are going to be, without knowing like what is machine learning, so we cannot go for that kind of the implementation. We cannot go for that actually. But anyhow, I'll tell you some different core areas of the data science what we have to learn. So in machine learning, what we are going to be doing here is we are making the machines to learn from that particular data actually. We are making the machines to learn from that particular data. Yes, can just like humans, these machines can learn. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, the machines also can learn just like our humans. So how the humans has been got learning, how the humans are going to be learning, same as it is, the machines are also able to learn them actually. If you give a proper input data and if you give a proper training, Machines also can capable to learn actually. So like how the machine, that means I can tell you some few examples actually, guys. I can just tell you some few examples actually. So feed the machines with some images. Let us say feed some machines with some images, like some photos. We can give some photos. Just give some photos to the machine actually. Give some photos to the machines actually, some images. So feed some images to the machine. So it's not only from the data actually, guys, even images, just like an images I'm going to give it actually. Let us say that some set of images actually, guys, some set of images I'm giving actually. Not just like an one or two images, but I have to give some thousands of images. So some of the images here are going to be having the male images. Some of them are having the female images. So I have given some, I have been having some images of the genders, like some of females and some of them are males actually. Feed this data to the machine actually, guys. Feed this data to the machine. Now the machine studies them. The machines are going to, you need not to write anything. That means you don't write any code at all. You don't write any code. So this is these are going to be the males, these are going to be the females. Just give the image and tell them this is an image of a male, this is an image of a female. Like that, just tell that this is the data and this is going to be the whatever the label of that particular image. So machines are capable to learn from that particular the images actually. It will identify. So like which images are going to be males, which images are going to be females. Machines will learn actually, guys. Machines are going to learn actually. How it will learn? That is a technical aspect that we are going to discuss in the actual classes actually. Like for example, we can say that the person with a long hair is a female. The person with a short hair is going to be nothing but it's a male. Something. It will identify some kind of a data actually. Okay. We don't write anything like that. We don't write any code. The machines will learn by themselves actually. So once a machine has been learned, now once if you give any new image actually, guys, whenever I give a new image now, the machine will tell you whether the person in the image is going to be, whether the person in the image is going to be nothing but, whether the person in the image is a male or a female, the machine is going to tell you about that. For that, we don't write any code. If there is long hair is there, it is a female. If it is a short hair is there, it is a male, or something like the face, the shape of that particular face is like that. The shape of the female's face is going to be like that. As we know this actually, guys. As a human, by looking at the face of a person, we can easily differentiate between the males and the females. But 90% it is going to be there actually, guys. But there is a chances, some around 5 to 10% will be there. Some females are going to be having some short hairs and some males are going to be having a long hairs actually. Females with short hairs and males with the long hairs. I cannot say that. So then automatically machines also, how the humans will get confused, the machines also will get confused. If I give a female with a short hair, instead of identifying as a female, it will identify as a male. Or if I give a male image who is having a long hair, instead of predicting it as a male, it will predict as a female actually. So we need not to differentiate them. Just give the images and give some labels to them. These are males, these are females. If you tell them, the machines are capable to learn from that actually, guys. So really, so many people will be wondering, like really machines can learn? Yes, absolutely. The machines has been able to learn it actually. And this research has been not started in the last couple of years or not something like a few years back actually, guys. The research has been, this thought has been came almost somewhere around 16 years back. We have got these doubts actually. That means the computer experts has started researching, they got it out. So why every time we are writing a program, why every time we have to write a program? So for everything we are writing a program and you are writing the logic. Why not the machines can learn? Why not the machines can learn? For example, that means the ideas are like this actually, guys. If I give the input as 10 and 20, the output should be coming as a 30 means I have to write the logic for add logic actually. We have to write some program for that. So we have to add up that particular two numbers. But what the experts has been saying here is, what the experts are saying is, why not you give the input to the machine? I'll say that if I give 10 and 20, I have to get the output as 30. Can't you identify how to get this output actually? The machines are able to identify that. how this output is coming from the input. The machine will tell you that it is just coming by using some adding of two numbers, or it is just coming from addition of two numbers. It is going to tell you about that. That means the machine is telling the logic behind it, how this output is coming. So how this output is coming from this particular input. So how I can identify that whether the person in the image is a male or a female, on what basis I was able to say, the machine is going to tell you which customers will be defaulter, which customers are non-defaulters. The machines are able to identify them. The machines are able to differentiate between them. So which patient will be affected within, is affected within some medical diagnosis actually. So it can explain you like why this particular patient will be affected with a stroke, or why this particular person is going to be affected with a heart attack in the future, because this is my past experience, what I'm going to be having it actually. So machines has been became very intelligent actually, guys. Some years back means not in a long back ago, like 100 years, 200 years. Maybe we can say that somewhere around 15, 20 years back, we used to say that robots are robots. Whenever we're talking about the robots, we have a lot of movies based on that robots also. So one of the popular movie, which is Robo, isn't it? So in that we know that some kind of an it's a humanoid robot has been got created. So the what are the main it is going to be in that particular movie here is robots cannot think by themselves actually. That is the basically the problem with the robots. They cannot take a decision by themselves actually. It is like completely like a program. So if this is a scenario, this is an action, you have to take it actually. Everything is going to be programmed according to the particular program only. It is going to work. But nowadays it is not like that actually, guys. If some situation which has been not programmed, how do you take a decision actually? So we got some kind of so we know that in our life we'll get some kind of a situations which we have been never encountered. Then as a human intelligence, with our human intelligence, we are going to take a decisions actually. We are going to take a decisions based on the human intelligence, what we have it actually. Same as it is, the machines are also able, the machines are also has been got some kind of an artificial intelligence. It is not a natural intelligence. Humans are going to be having an, which is going to be natural intelligence is there. But what about these computers and these particular robots or the machines? We have been giving some kind of an artificial intelligence. That means they will decide by themselves. So whenever I want to travel from, a robot want to travel from one room into the other room. There is a room was there. So just I'll tell you like how the previous situation was there actually. So let us say that a robot has to travel from this location to this location. It has to travel it actually. So according to the program, that means according to the particular program, they will be writing some program inside that. So according to that, he is going to take an instructions. But the artificial intelligence, whenever the robot was equipped within or given with an artificial intelligence, what it is going to do is actually, guys. First, a kind of an training will be given. So it will take a different routes. It will take a different routes. It will take it actually. It will first take it on a different rules. It is route it is going to take it actually. It starts from the point x1 and it goes to, let us say, point x2 actually. So which one is going to be the shortest distance, or which one is going to be the shortest time actually? What is the shortest time, or which is going to be the shortest distance? It is going to identify that. Based on that, it will learn. It will automatically learn by itself only. So I'm going to give some instruction to the robot saying that you travel from here to here and you decide it, which one is going to be the better one actually. So based on its previous experience, it will decide. So when to take which kind of a route I have to take it actually. So it is going to be all about some kind of an artificial intelligence. Basically in our data science, we are going to call it as a technique or a learning, what we are going to call it as and reinforcement learning, what we are going to call it as. It is what we are going to call it as a reinforcement learning, what we are going to call it as actually. Mainly we have three types of learnings in our machine learning, that is in our data science and machine learning. One is what we call it as a supervised learning, and the other one is what we are going to call it as an unsupervised learning, And the third one is going to be what we are going to call it as the reinforcement learning, what we are going to call it as. Reinforcement learning, what we are going to call it as actually. So the reinforcement learning is going to be nothing but its own ideas. That means itself is going to take a decision, itself is going to decide whether it is correct or whether it is wrong. Like for example, like a chess player actually, like a chess player itself is going to learn the chess steps it is going to learn. So which step is going to leads to a victory and which that is winning the match, and which step is going to be leads to the loss of the game actually. So itself is going to decide its own rules. So it will play. So whatever the previous we have been played, according to that, it is going to changes actually, step by step, step by step. Immediately when I develop a machine learning application or a deep learning or it may be an AI application, immediately it does not gives you 100% performance. Over the time period, the performance improves, just like our humans. Humans also going to be improves the performance over a time period. Same as it is, these machines also will start learning. Initially, they will start learning. So once over the time period, they will learn a different aspects, a different situations, and based on that, it is going to take a decision actually. So we all of you know that one of the very success story of this particular AI, a big success story of an AI, is going to be your driverless cars actually, the autonomous cars actually, guys. So without having a driver, how that car can drive by itself actually, self-driving cars or driverless cars, self-driving cars actually. So it has been tested actually, guys. It has been tested with a different situations. It has been got tested actually. So like we know that we have an idea about that. Like for example, while that particular it's going to be driving on the road, it has to identify the various objects. It has to identify the various objects actually, like whether it is a dog crossing on the road or if it is a man. It's going to be identify the different objects. So is there a car ahead or a bike ahead, or anybody is crossing the road, or a dog is going to be on the road? But for which items it has to stop, which items you should not stop. So that is going to be the very intelligent decision it has to be gets taken actually. So like if we talk about an examples of Indian roads, so on the roads we can find out lot of objects actually. Apart from the cars and bikes and other things which are going to be traveling, we can find out lot of other objects also can be found out of. For example, if I don't give it proper training, then whenever it finds some kind of an object which is not a moving object actually, immediately the car is going to get stops there itself. So a lot of training is required. So when to stop, when not to stop. So if we feed all that particular data, like for example, what we'll do is the human is going to drive the car first initially. So in which cases he is increasing the speed, in which cases he was decreasing the speed, in which cases he is taking a direction, left direction, right direction, when in which cases he is stopping, in which situation it is going to be stopping. All this data is going to be fed to that particular model, the machine actually. Machine learns from that particular data. Automatically what it is going to do is, the data is important. So the manually we have to drive the car, how that particular driverless car or a self-driving cars will work. First, the humans are going to drive the car. They will capture a lot of data. So in which color of the red light we are stopping, in which color of the red light, in which color of the signal light we are stopping, in which color of the signal light we are moving, which we are going to be slowing down, at which type of signal board signboards are there. So we are slowing down, we are stopping, we are moving. So at which type of a this one, the signal boards or signboards, we are increasing the speed, we are decreasing the speed. We'll give all this data to the machine actually. So machine will study the data. So in these situations, it is slowing down. In these situations, it is going to be speeding up. So based on that, it will take a decision actually. So a kind of an human intelligence, which is going to be not a natural intelligence, which is going to be the human intelligence. What is AI? AI is nothing but we are just making a machine just to going to be think like an human, like a mimic of an human actually. The definition of AI is going to be something like that only. So to make the machines to be mimic as humans, just like how the humans take the decision with their natural intelligence, the machines are able to take the decisions with their particular artificial intelligence actually. That is what we are going to call it as the AI actually. Anyhow, just if you just want to know about that, you can just check it out. What is going to be the reinforcement learning in machine learning actually, guys? So what is going to be, there are three types of learnings are there. One is going to be what I told you about that, which is going to be the supervised. The other one is going to be nothing but unsupervised. And third one is going to be, which is going to be what we can call it as reinforcement learning actually. So I already told you, three basic machine learning is going to be there. One is going to be supervised, other one is going to be unsupervised learning. Just an idea, I'm just talking about that. Reinforcement learning is an area of a machine learning concerned with how intelligent agents out to take the actions in an environment. In order to maximize that particular notion of cumulative reward, reinforcement learning is one of the three basic machine learning paradigms, along with supervised and unsupervised learning. So what is going to be this particular reinforcement learning means? It's a self rules. They itself is going to take that kind of they will take a decisions by themselves actually. They are going to take their particular own the learning procedures and all these things that are going to be taken actually. But in supervised and unsupervised learning, we are going to do some kind of an instructions we have to give it actually. So it's kind of an what we can see. These are going to be just what we can see, identify that kind of an techniques actually. So many of the concepts are going to be there, which we can see a lot of reinforcement learning, different types of reinforcement learnings are going to be there. Like in the inverse reinforcement learning, which is going to be the reinforcement learning. These are going to be some of the algorithms or something, the areas where we are going to be implementing. So Q learning, which we are going to learn as part of our class. As part of our course curriculum, we are going to be learning about something what we are going to call it as a Q learning concept, what we are going to be gets working with them. A little bit maths is going to be involved here now. Not little bit, a little bit maths is going to be more and more maths is going to be involved here now. So that does not mean that you should be a maths expert, but at least if you can understand the maths behind them, that is going to be the sufficient actually. So anyhow, there are so many other things are also going to be there, which we are going to be yet to discuss about them. But the idea here is, so what is machine learning basically? Machines are capable to learn from that particular data actually. But how they are going to learn? They are going to learn with some help of some kind of an algorithms are going to be there actually. So mainly in our machine learning classes, we have to study those particular algorithms only. So mainly my specialization, one of my main expertise, why most of the people, most of the participants like in my teaching is going to be explaining about that particular algorithms. You can find out lot of trainings. You can find out a really lot of trainings over the online and all these things. We can find it off. But the idea here is explaining a kind of an algorithm. So how that particular algorithm works, how that particular algorithm is going to work. So what are going to be the strengths and weakness of that particular algorithm? In which scenarios we have to use, because it is not all about only one algorithm. There are so many algorithms are going to be there actually. So in which scenarios we have to use which kind of an algorithms. So all these things I'm going to make you understand during some kind of the training, whatever the training we are going to be learning it actually. So we are going to learn some kind of a popular algorithms we are going to learn. So just let me tell you about like how my course curriculum was designed actually. I'll show you like what concepts we are going to learn as part of our course curriculum. Just give me a second once. I'll share my backend team is going to be share you this particular document also to you. Along with that, I'm going to just give you the idea about that. It's going to be a full stack data science course. So this is going to be our complete course curriculum actually. And as a full stack data science, as I'm saying that as a full stack data science, we are going to be learning a different aspects or different core areas of a data science. As you can see that some of the major concepts which I have already discussed about that. One is going to be the data visualization. It's going to be one of the data visualizations. These are all some kind of a prerequisites. Like, because if you want to implement, I told you, I'm going to use some Python or R languages we are going to use. Basically, either Python or either R, any of the languages are fine. So as part of my course curriculum, you will be having some practice on working on both on Python as well as with the R language also. So learning this R language is a very easy when a person is having a knowledge of Python. It's very easy language. Anybody can learn the R language. Once if even they have the knowledge of Python, don't have the knowledge of Python, learning R language is very easy. Most of the people think that so R language is something related to mathematicians and statisticians. It's not that. Anybody can learn that particular R language. You can easily work with them. It's a very simple language. It's a kind of a very simple language we are going to be gets working with the R and with the Python. We can work. Both of them are very simple languages only. Anybody can learn that particular languages. So as part of our course curriculum, everything is going to be start from the basics, starting from the scratch. As a beginner who do not have any idea about a programming technical skills, who do not have any idea about a data science also, they will learning from the scratch actually, guys. Everything starting from the beginning, we are going to be learning the things actually. So we'll start our classes initially with the core Python actually, guys. Initially with the core Python, we are going to start with them. Then we are going to be going towards the data science. There are going to be some kind of an prerequisites. Some kind of an prerequisites are going to be learning actually, guys. Among them, there are going to be two Python libraries. One is going to be NumPy, and the other one is going to be nothing but it's a NumPy and the pandas. So if you are already familiar with the Python, you may be heard about that, and you may be already knowing about the importance of that actually. That is NumPy and the Python, the NumPy and the pandas. So NumPy, we are going to be like how many sessions it will take it actually, guys. Core Python, we are going to take somewhere around 2 weeks. Will take it actually. It's 12 sessions, but it will be going up to 15. So maybe hardly 2 weeks it will go beyond that. NumPy is going to be 4 to 5 days we can work. Pandas also will work for around 2 weeks we are going to be working. So almost all to complete off all these basics. So here core Python is 2 weeks and the pandas is another 2 weeks, almost all 4 weeks of time. And NumPy is going to be another 1 more week. Hardly it is going to be somewhere. It's going to be 5 weeks. It is going to take it actually. After that, another 1 more week is going to be more than 1 week only. It is for data visualization. Written as a 6 sessions, but it will go. It's exactly not that they have to go exactly within 6 days. Generally, without having any much discussion, 6 days is sufficient. If any more discussions, any more examples will come, it may goes up to 6 to 8 days. It will goes up that. So that means almost all more than 6 weeks of time, we are going to be working with all the prerequisites. There only almost all 6 weeks of time was completed. Then the main topic, which is going to be nothing but machine learning actually, guys. So as I have been got discussed, like in machine learning, we are going to be learning about what is supervised, what is an unsupervised learnings. So at different kinds of algorithms, we are going to be learning. Some of the algorithms like which is going to be KNN, decision trees, Navi Bayes. Okay, coming to regression, we are going to be working with a simple linear regressions, logistic regression cases, and unsupervised learnings like which is going to be clustering algorithms we are going to be gets working. And one of the major important topics like evaluation of model performance. Okay, evaluation of model performance. And apart from that, some kind of a data sampling techniques, improving of model performance, like by using some kind of an random forest, ADA boosting, gradient boosting. Not only that, even some more also I have didn't written them actually. We are having a concept called as an which is going to be bagging. I think bagging is already there, I think. Yeah, it's going to be bootstrap sampling is what we call it as a bagging. And we are going to be calling it as an stacking. It's a batch by batch, batch by batch. You will be adding some new topics will be getting added actually. I will be adding a lot of new things to the new batches and all these things will be adding it actually. So something like that, these are going to be some of the topics of machine learning, what we are going to be learning. And mainly, I'm not discussing much about the deep learning concepts today. In deep learning, we are going to be works with something called as a neural networks actually. So what are machine learning versus deep learning? As I told you, which is going to be the reinforcement algorithms actually. What are going to be the neural networks concept it is going to be. What is feed forward and what is the backward propagation actually, the back propagation and feed forward. What are the different components of the neural networks? There are different types of optimization techniques are there. Some of the interesting topic is going to be like working with images. It's going to be working with images. So like some of the Photoshop applications is going to be done by. So some of the applications, like we are having some kind of an cropping of an image. How do you do that cropping of an image actually? Normally when you open an MS Paint, we can do the cropping. But internally how it is going to be done? It's all playing with the numbers only. So for that, we have some kind of a library is called as an OpenCV. It's one of the a very popular library basically for mostly used for image processing. We are going to use this actually. Mostly used for image processing. We are going to be using some kind of an facial expression recognitions. Like how do you identify whether the person in the image is smiling, whether he was angry, whether he was fear, or whether he was disgust. So we can identify the facial expression recognitions with the help of a live webcam. We can do one example actually. So there are some other networks are also there, like convolution neural networks, okay, autoencoders, a kind of a packages like frameworks like TensorFlow, PyTorch. These are going to be some of the things. Even we'll also work with audio files also. We'll take the audio files into our consideration and we'll feed that particular audio files. And based on that, we can identify, we'll train the machines actually, guys. So these are some of them. And apart from that, NLP, it's one of the current latest, the emerging area is going to be NLP. So which is going to be natural language processing. So which is going to be completely like an text mining and text analytics is going on actually. And apart from that, these are some of the additional things. Just a knowledge is required, not a mandatory, like some kind of an big data systems like Hadoop and Spark, some kind of an Azure related applications actually. Even nowadays, they are looking for the people who are having some idea about the Azure and even some kind of a data visualization tool like a Power BI. All these are some additional topics actually, guys. Like Plotly and the dashboard, and Hadoop and Spark chatbots. We are going to discuss about them. Azure ML and Power BI. All these are going to be some additional topics actually. Just hardly 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, not more than that. But main topics are going to be these one actually, guys. Core Python, NumPy, Pandas, visualization, machine learning, R language, deep learning, NLP. This whatever some around seven concepts are there. Those are going to be the most in deep we are going to be learning. Remaining, just we are going to be at a higher level. We are going to be learning for a knowledge purpose. We are going to learning about that. Okay. So, and actually from the DurgaSoft, the trainings. So we are going to be starting a new batch. It was already started, but just only demos are started actually. So if you are interested, you can just join from tomorrow onwards. We are starting a new batch. Just let me give you the schedule. And my backend team is going to give you more details about that. So the timing is from 9:30 p.m. Specifically, we have been created. That means we are taking this particular batch specifically for employees. Because the most of the working people, they're having their working timings up to 8:30, 9:30, etc. So they're unable to join in the regular classes. We have a 6 p.m., we have a morning 7 a.m. But being they're requesting for some kind of a late night batch, so we are starting initially from 9:30 to 10:30 p.m. But it may be extended actually, guys. If all participants are going to be interested, we can just, because 1 hour session is not sufficient. We are going to be taking up to, we are going to be planning to up to 10:45 p.m. So just a 1 hour, at least 1 hour 15-minute session per day, and it is going to be 6 days a week actually. It is going to be 6 days a week, which is going to be from Monday to which is going to be Saturday, including Saturday, you will be having the class. But this is going to be a little bit time-taking process, because like an conceptual base we have to learn, just like not a programming language. It's not like a programming language. So learn some programming part, write some code, get some output. Not like that. There are some different techniques are going to be there. Some mathematical, statistical techniques will be there. Using those particular mathematical and statistical techniques only, we are going to be using, we are going to be applying all these kind of machine learning applications. We are going to be learning the things actually. Okay. So this is about the schedule. So anyhow, my backend team will get back to you. So if you want any update on the new batch or something like that, you can just discuss with them. So, but this is going to be the primary information from my side actually, guys. Okay. So today is only just a free workshop, guys, just to give some idea about like what we are going to be learning as part of the data science. So what topics will be learned, what topics you have to learn to get a job. So just to get some idea about that, we have been taken this kind of a free workshop we have been got taken. So as already told you, so 45-50 minutes is from my discussion. So almost all, it's almost all nearer to 50 minutes, more than 50 minutes I have been got taken. So I can spare some around 5-10 minutes of time, guys. If anybody having any questions from your side, you can just feel free to discuss with me. I was here to clarify your doubt, any kind of a doubts related to your experience or a job or a whatever you have a doubt related to them. So you can just ask the questions. If you want, you can have a chat panel is there. And apart from that, you will be also having, you can unmute yourself and you can speak. Okay.
Is there any morning batch coming up in between this, like 7 a.m., 8 a.m., like that?
It will be there. The batches will be there. Regular batches will be there. But as of now, this is a new batch. But maybe within another 15-20 days, maybe hardly, maybe another 15 days, you will be having a new batch, maybe starting at morning 7 or 7:15 a.m., something around that particular time.
Okay, means the old batch will finish and will start at that time.
Old batch was already completed. It was already completed. So currently my slot was free. Generally, what we'll do is, because we'll have some inquiries from the students, like which time they are preferring more. So according to that, we'll plan the schedules basically. But as of now, this is, we already started. Last week, we have started with the demos. From tomorrow onwards, we are going to start with the core Python concepts classes. We are going to starting from Monday onwards. The regular classes will start. So if you want, you can just wait. Update my backend team whenever a new batch will start. They will surely they will update you about the morning batch so that you can plan according to that.
Okay, sir. It will be your batch only, right? Morning batch.
It's my batch.
Okay, because I was planning to join 9:30 batch, but I'm finding it a bit exhausting that after
yes,
office,
obviously,
not able to focus for 1.5 hours.
Yeah, obviously. That's why, because some guys are asking, because due to their work environment and unable to spare the time in the regular timings. So we have been planning from 9:30. Most of the guys are from working environment only. The working people are there. But within another 2 more weeks maximum, we will be starting a morning 7 o'clock batch. If you have any plan to join that, please inform my backend team. They will update you whenever a new batch will start.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, sir.
Fine. Thank you, guys. Yes, Vaibhav, yes, absolutely. Any placement assistant is there. Surely we are having a placement assistant from my side. So all that, like whatever the resumes, whatever the FAQs you require. So all these things, I'm going to be helping you regarding that particular one. So that is not from any commitment from the DurgaSoft. It is going to be commitment from my side actually. Okay. So we'll be having a Telegram group will be there. So you can, even the batch, it's not only during the course, even after the course completion is over also. So the group will be there. A Telegram group will be created where you can have a discussion. Okay, fine. Yes, Ankit, have raised your hand. Any question, Ankit? Yes, Ankit, you go ahead.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Actually, I want to do a offline course. Is there any course available?
As of now, we don't have the offline. Are you based out of Hyderabad?
Yes, I am from Jodhpur, Rajasthan.
Okay. But we are currently in Hyderabad. We are based from Hyderabad.
Yes,
okay.
I know. I have to relocate.
Okay. You want to relocate it. As of now, we don't have it, but we are planning to start it, because very few guys, we already planned. But now most of the guys are preferring to work with the online itself rather than the offline classes actually. Because time taking, it's a time, because you are from Jodhpur, so you have to relocate it, isn't it? So there are a lot of issues are there. So as of now,
in offline program, we can understand better, sir. Okay, I think.
I don't think so, because we are training we initially thought the same way. See, we also thought that same way, like people will prefer. But now after going through the online training, so the people are finding better to learn it from the online rather than the offline, because one of the major reason is time saving is going to be one of the reason, and you can connect from anywhere. So even if you have any other work is there. So for example,
actually,
you have.
Sir, actually, I have a BTech in computer science in 2011.
Okay.
And
so
after I have done non-technical jobs, sir.
Okay. fine.
But now I want to switch to IT sector.
Okay.
Then
Fine.
can I
Yeah.
will be comfortable for
Yeah.
the data science.
Yes, you can do that, but some little bit you have to put a little bit more effort compared with the other guys actually. A little bit more
Yes.
effort and more time you have to spend there because you are completely out of IT from last 11 or 12 years of time. So you should be putting a more effort on that rather than the compare with the other guys actually.
And sir, any I face difficulty in getting job for this non-technical job experience.
No, it's not a problem because see, the one of the reason here is data science is not, it's not a subject of computer science engineering. Don't think that a data scientist should work only in an which is going to be an IT company. Wherever that
Yes.
means, see, even if, for example, if we have a clinical, like and something like an, we are having some kind of an clinical related data is there, we can work with them anywhere. Even for
Yes.
example, if you are a mechanical, so for example, you have been got working on a mechanical side, so you will be having some kind of a machines data will be there, so you can work with that
Yes.
particular machines data. So anywhere a
Yes. Sir.
civil engineer can work or a mechanical engineer can work or a which is going to be a bioinformatics people can work. Anybody can work on that particular data. It's not like you should be a computer science engineer. It is not at all related to IT at all. First of all, that is the first point we have to think. You have to be understand about that. It's not related to any IT professional.
Okay.
It
Okay,
will be
sir.
there actually.
Okay. Thank you.
Fine. Yes. Yes, Viber. Yes, absolutely. Everybody's talking about recession. So obviously we know that, see, if recession comes actually, because you guys may not be have encountered the recession earlier. So because my experience, I'll tell you, in 2008, we have got the recession actually. It's absolutely, we got recession in 2008. 2 years we are having. So in 2016 also we have got it, but slightly our India was able to overcome that particular recession. 2016 has been, and I think already the recession already started. They are talking about really, um, we are not the experts in that. We are not the people who are working on economy and all these things. We are not the guys who are working about that. They are up to some extent, they may be correct. So 2016 also we have got a recession, but slightly we are able to overcome them actually. So obviously if recession comes, so what is the solution actually? So obviously some of the low end jobs are going to be gets lost, or some of the low level jobs are going to be gets lost. We don't know where it will come. I think in 2016 somewhere around, some automobile engineering has been got the recession, not in every area. Automobile manufacturing companies, they have been got the recessions, they have got the loss. IT was not affected during that particular time. So at that time IT was not affected at all in 2016, but 2008 to 2010 it was affected actually. So in that cases, like we are going to be having some kind of an, like an only secured jobs will be secured jobs, like an high level jobs are going to be there. So like which are going to be more technology oriented, which are having the high technical oriented is there, those jobs are going to be in good positions. But the lower end jobs, like small applications or small software applications will be working, they are going to be losing the jobs actually. But everybody has to withstand that actually. That is one thing we can say that. But if you have some kind of a skill in your hand, so maybe because we say that, see, as a trainer, I suggest say that like a recession is going to be the good time for ourselves actually. From my perspective, recession is going to be the good time for us, because most of the upgradations will be taking place to not to lose your job means you have to upgrade yourself. Companies immediately, they don't remove the jobs actually. They'll say that you have to upskill yourself. You have to, if you don't show any upskill, then we are going to be losing the jobs actually. So people starts upskilling them, to people start to move their particular domains, then we can find a good opportunities in that, in our applications actually. Okay, so if you have a good skill in your hands, obviously we can withstand the recessions actually. Okay guys, fine guys. Any more questions guys? Okay guys, so thank you all of you for spending some time on Sunday. So really spending some time on Sunday isn't going to be already haven't hired as an ML engineer, but last 6 months I'm on the bench, but I don't have any project experience. Yes, absolutely, Vaibhav. Being you're already having got some, maybe you have started working on ML engineering, no? So it is an extension, you know, that by the time at that time you are learning ML engineering, you may know about that. Data scientist is also about that. ML engineer means only just doing all the data collection techniques and all these things. Here we are all going to learn about some analytics part, like an analytics, predictive analytics and all these things. We are going to be working with them. So it is an added advantage for you, right? 6 months you don't have any, you are on bench. 6 months.
Yes.
Yeah, 6 months you are in bench. Okay. So
Yes,
what
sir.
your daily work, what you're doing on your daily basis?
Just starting some project and
Okay.
like a revision.
Okay. So they're paying you the salary.
Yeah.
Okay. Which company?
Virtusa.
Oh, what you say? Okay. Maybe they may be having, say, maybe they hired due to some any project is incoming. That maybe the project may be on hold. That may be the reason why they have been kept it on your bench. But once the project is accepted or any other, maybe some other new project will come, so they will assign you the project.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you all of you guys for spending your time on Sunday. So really thank you for today, and hope I'll see you all of you tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. actually, guys. Yes, Ankit, do you have any question?
Sir, actually, I want to know how many times required to learn for industrial to get a job in industry.
How much time you want to spend?
Time to learn this course.
It will be some around 5 months it will take, Ankit.
5 months
Yes,
minimum
5 months. Yeah, 5 months minimum is required.
required.
Yeah.
And
Because
what
you
will
see,
be the fees, sir?
fees is going to be 16K. Is that currently the fee structure from DURGASOFT?
Sir, this course is completely up to date for till date
Yes.
to get a job.
Yes,
in
absolutely.
IT.
Yes, absolutely. These are all some latest, whatever the
It
latest.
cover all of the latest in data science.
Obviously latest, because I work in a company, so I know what are the new trends and everything is going to be gets coming. So I will be having the training on those particular topics also.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Fine. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you all of you guys. Thanks for today, and we'll meet you in the tomorrow session. Thank you all of you and have a nice day. Thank you all of you guys.